Hey, welcome to Rust Revival Garage. My name is Tim. I'm back on the Pontiac LeMans. Going to take care of some electrical issues. I know I finished the rewiring project, but there's some things I want to clear up before I get the dash put back together and the steering wheel on. Namely, my headlights, when you turn the switch, they dim. So I've got something wrong with my headlight switch, and I want to make sure the turn signals work. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. Okay, for one thing, I have updated my list of things that I need to do in order to get ready for the power tour. If you saw the last couple of videos, I still need to do the trans fluid, get that modulator hooked up in the back, maybe a new one, I don't know. Still got to do my seat, so I got to buy the foam and the replacement covers. And I did not do the wipers like I wanted to, but I can get those done. My wheels and tires are bought and they are on the way. One of the things I realized I do need to do is the shocks. It's not sitting on the ground, so we really can't tell, but if I push down on this, you can just hear them just creaking and moaning, and kind of like me when I get up out of a chair. So I do need to redo the shocks. Probably when I've got the wheels off, maybe I can do that. I need to redo the weather stripping. If you look up here, you can just see this is crumbling away. So yeah, I'm gonna need to replace the weather stripping before I can get this thing out in the weather. Also, of course, I gotta get the oil, coolant, and power steering fluid back in there. I want to adjust the brakes. When I drove this thing around for the first time in 24 years, I'd redone the drum brakes, but they are not great. As you can tell, I need to adjust them. Look how easily this is turning. There is just no drag on there at all. So I need to adjust those again. When I've got the wheels off, maybe I can take a look at that, do the brakes. And then, of course, dealing with getting all the electrical wrapped up so I can get the dash back in and make sure everything's good to go there. But that's my newly adjusted list. And also I mentioned the dash electrical work. One of the problems that I had when I tested my new rewiring job for the first time was that when I turned the dome, to make the dash lights brighter and to make the dome light come on, it turned my headlights up and down. It dimmed them, and then when I would turn it, then the headlights would get brighter. So I hooked up something wrong. So I need to go in there. I need to take the this off and see if I can figure out what I did wrong here so that it's turning on the instrument cluster brighter and darker and not my headlights. All right, I think I figured out my headlight problem where it's dimming. I went by this one, and I think it's this one, because this one I'm not going to go through all the details, but I've got the blue and yellow one that's supposed to be, let's see, this one has the dome courtesy light, or the instrument panel light here, and I've got that correct. Basically, this dimmer power switch is coming in here, and I put it there. Nope, that's correct. Dome courtesy activation, power, dome going into that one. Got that correct. Battery power, tail lights, instrument panel lights going to that one. I don't know. Okay, so I did have the dimmer power switch going into this one. I now have the instrument panel light going into this one. And then the parking brake light over here, and it should match up now with everything that's in the switch itself. So hopefully this will be done. Okay, that's all back together. Let's test it out. All right, so the dome light still works. Instrument cluster lights work. Headlights are on. Okay, so we've got direct power there. Now, let's see what happens if we dim. These would probably be easier to see. Yeah. All right. Then does the dome light turn off? Nope, the door's open. But as you can see, I'm turning this and the headlights are not dimming. Okay, so one of the things that I wanted to do for the power tour was make sure that I had a little extra safety. And to do that, I need a bit brighter bulb in the back, in my taillights and my brake lights. The reason for that is if you've never gone on the power tour, it's a lot of stop and start. There's a lot of traffic. There's a lot of people backed up behind you. And this car is from 1968. It's got those original old 1157 bulbs. And they're just not that bright. I mean, it's just proven. And so I wanted to try some LED bulbs. So a company called Auxito reached out to me and said, hey, we'd love to send you our LED bulbs for your taillights. I don't necessarily know if I could use them for the headlights. Again, at some point I may need to get some brighter bulbs, but most of the power tour is run in the daytime, if you have no problems. So I'm not going to worry about the headlights as much as I am those brake lights. I want to make sure whoever is behind me sees me and doesn't drive into me from behind. So yeah, Auxito reached out and they've got these really cool LED bulbs that match the 1157 bulbs that normally just drop in there and you turn. And they sent me a set for the brake light, tail light, and then as well they had a set for the reverse lights. So I wanted to test these out and see how well they work compared to what's already in there. And I know it's going to be better, it's LED. But again, Auxito was really kind enough to send these out to me. And if you'd like to get a set yourself after seeing this, just use the code Rust Revival Garage. I'll put a link in the description. But Rust Revival Garage will get you a discount. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I think it might be 10% off, something like that. But let's test these out and see how well they work. So this is my regular bulbs, stock standard 1157 type bulbs that originally came with it. This is how bright they are with just the taillights. And here they are, same thing on this side. I mean, fairly bright, not too bad. I do have the lights on in here, so it's not like super dark, but this is what the regular ones look like. Now let me go ahead and hit the brake lights so you can see what that looks like. That's the brake lights on, off, brake lights on. And okay, I just realized my turn signals do not work. So I did not do something right with the wiring of my turn signals. Huh. Let's check up front. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and take off the lens cover and we will replace the bulbs. All right, so I've got, I did not replace this bulb, but it does work. This is the reverse light. These are the two tail lights that become brake lights. So I'm going to replace these three and then go and see if I can see if this is any better than over there. So I've got two of the reverse lights. I've only got two of these, so I don't actually have a complete set. So I can't show you both of the different ones on both sides, but I can show you the difference with this one light and then this will be the stock standard one. I can change out the other reverse light in here, but because I've got two bulbs each in these, I'll just change out this side and I'll see if they can send me another set for the other side. So you just push down and turn it. It's got this kind of base on it. As you can see, it's just pretty much the standard old school light bulb. And this kind has a very similar base. But again, you can see it's the LED kind that projects out and then it projects out on the top. So it just goes in, you turn, and that's it. You push down, turn, and it stays down. If it doesn't stay down, of course, then you probably don't have it incorrect. So then I'll get these out and hang on to these because they are in good shape. And I will get the other two in here. Very similar setup. They have the same exact base. All right, so it's got the pretty much the exact same base. Hopefully I've got enough clearance. Yeah, look at that. I just barely have enough clearance. But you find the little gap, push it down, turn it to the right. Find the gap. Took both hands just to get it set in there correctly, but you just push it down, turn it to the right, and I'm going to get this lens back on and let's see how it looks. Okay, let's take a look. All right, this is with the new LEDs. You can see it's definitely brighter. Can't put it in reverse to check the reverse light, but it's certainly brighter here. Let me go ahead and show you the brake light now. There's the brake. All right, let's see if we can do a comparison between LED and stock. Once again, LED, that's just tail lights, no brake lights. So that's LED and that's stock. You can see it is much brighter. I'm going to go ahead and get you the brake lights on the stock again. Off, on. Yeah, that is really so much brighter. It's the kind of thing where you expect it to be brighter. It's LED. I mean, it's just going to look that much better, right? And this really does. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm sure the reverse light is probably really nice and bright as well. Won't be able to test that until I can get it up and running and do all that kind of stuff, but it certainly does look very good. The only thing I can't really show you is the turn signals, and I have no idea what I did wrong, but I'm going to see if I can test something out. Okay, let's take another look. I've actually turned the lights off back here. So this is, again, the tail lights with the LEDs. Tail lights with stock bulbs. So stock, LEDs. This is with the lights off in the garage. Definitely looks so much more bright. I'll test again the brake light. And it's funny, the LED actually seems like it's even a little faster. Comes on a little faster. All right, now this is the brake lights on the stock side. Yeah, the LED lights come on faster. Interesting. All right, we can definitely say that looks and works a lot better than stock. Okay, so here's my turn signal unit, and I just noticed it's actually correct. So at some point I must have sat on this and didn't notice it. I'm going to try my old turn signal and see if that works. This one's a 2-pronger too, and it was in there. My old fuse box. So let's see if this works any better. All right, so I've got that old one in there. See if that works. I don't hear anything, and I don't have those lights working. That's not the problem. No, no turn signals. Nope. What did I do wrong with the turn signals? Or does the steering wheel have to be... I don't know. Okay, so my hazards do work, front and back, but the turn signals do not. So yeah, we know that the hazards work, and so what I did was I took the hazard one, plugged it in up there where the turn signals go, and it still did not work. So what I'm thinking now at this point is maybe I've got a problem here where I'm not sending power. Maybe I've got the ignition switch hooked up wrong, and that's my problem. That's the only thing I can think of. Is I'm gonna see if I can test a little bit to see if I'm getting power down there when the key is in, and that can let me know. But I know because I tried with the hazards worked, so I know it's not that relay. I tried the relay over there, and it didn't work. So it's obviously a power problem, I'm guessing. So I didn't show it, but I accidentally turned this over, and the engine turned over. So I don't know what the problem is. That means I do have at least the ignition switch is correctly hooked up. I really did not mean to do that. I don't have a whole lot of oil in there. But at least the starter works. I do know that now. But yeah, I'm going to see if I can get up in there and test and see what's going on, if I've got power coming to that or not. Okay, so I checked my voltmeter. When I ran the voltmeter to the hazard lights, 12 volt source, it was about 11.85. Turned the key on and checked both prongs for the turn signal switch. No power. So for some reason, and I don't know what it is, there's no power going to the turn signal in the fuse box. And again, I thought I hooked everything up right when I did the rewiring project. So I don't know. Hopefully a buddy of mine can come check it out. We can figure out what's going on. If we can't figure it out, let us know in the comments, because again, it's all brand new wiring. It is hopefully hooked up all correctly. Ignition switch does have power. I tested it. I actually added the oil. One of the things on my checklist, I added the oil and filled the engine up just in case, because I don't want to do that again and try to start it dry. So anyway, yeah, I'm kind of stumped right now on the turn signal. It's not the little relay thing. It's a lack of power to that part on the fuse box. And that's why it's not flashing. Okay, a little update. Took my ignition switch out. This one, which is my all full-time battery one, kind of slipped out as I was taking it out. I don't know if it was loose. This one, which is my solenoid starter, if it goes to the neutral safety switch, it had completely come off. Again, I don't know if it was when I was taking it out or what. But I have gone through and verified the ignition switch wiring, and hopefully I think I can get it correct, make sure all of these are in the right spot and that they are all good to go. I'm going to redo all of these, solder them up, and see if I can make them a little nicer. And looking at it, I think I do have it wrong. This one, this orange one, should be over here. there should be, the pink is to the coil. In my diagram, it's dark green, but that's switched power, and that's what this orange one is. So the orange one should be over here instead of over here. I think that's what my issue is. But I'm going to get these all better connectors on there and make sure it's all nice and solid. All right, I have everything, as far as I can tell, correct. So I'm going to get this plugged back in and see if that was the problem. All right, I got everything back together. So let's plug in the battery, turn on the key, and see what happens. Battery is connected. We are in the on position. Nothing. Let's try it again. Tried it with a different relay, but I got nothing. Let's make sure do our hazards work again. Alright, hazards are working. Let's try another one. Okay, so I tried it with my two old ones, the sort of broken one that came with it, the hazard one that works, and it's not the ignition switch accessory like I thought it was. I have no idea what's going on. I think I figured it out. I had to call Painless and they explained it to me. With the Pontiac, you've got two ignition wires that are plugged into the ignition switch. One is for the coil to start, one is for the coil to run. So ignition 1, ignition 2. Painless supplies one pink wire to the coil. And so what I needed to do, and the car would not have even run anyway. I didn't have keyed power to my accessories, but I would have had coil power to try to start it, but I would not have had coil power to keep it on. So it would have died out as soon as I turned the ignition switch off of start. So here's what I'm going to do. So here's my ignition switch. You know, you've got the brown for the accessories, red for battery, purple is going out to the neutral safety switch, the starter. So I've got the pink wire, which is my engine or the coil run. There's supposed to be a yellow wire here that's got the coil start. So what Painless suggested that I do is take my orange other accessories, that's the keyed on power, mix it with the pink wire. That way I've got two wires running into the ignition. I don't know if it's ignition 1 or ignition 2, but it's the pink one that's for coil run. Then to jump the pink one over to where the yellow one would be and plug that in there for the coil start. So that's pretty much what I need to do in order to get this to work. So let's give it a try. So once again, I've got the ignition switch out. So here's what has to happen. This is the pink one. This is where the yellow one goes. So I'm going to split off this pink one, put another pink one in here, and then this orange one. And then this orange one is going to go in with this other pink. Actually, I think I got to look it up which one is run and which one is start. But the orange one is going to go in with the pink that is run, and the other pink will be start. Okay, so the pink and the orange. The pink is coil run. The orange is my key on accessories to give me power. So I need to merge these two together. A little higher up on the pink, I'm going to cut this and then merge another pink. Got a second. This one actually should be technically be yellow, but I'm gonna. It's from the same pink wire. I'm gonna run that one off of this to jump it over to the coil start. Okay, so I've got my accessory and my pink run, my coil run, fused together, soldered them up, taped them, so we're good to go there. I just need to cut and jump another pink wire off of this one. Okay, it's not pretty, but pink and accessories in, and then the pink, which is the start, is connected and it's in. So I'm going to go ahead and stick that back up there and see if it works. Let's try it out. Got a gen light, that's new. Look at that. And that's with the LEDs too. Let's check our front ones. Let's check. Look at that. All right, people, I've done it. Now, for some reason, this one isn't flashing, but I can live with that. That's not working. That's okay. I wasn't sure that would. But I do have power going to my keyed on. Yes, that was it. Whew. So, oh my gosh, guys, holy crap, I had no idea it was going to take me that long to figure it out in this video. But again, this could be really helpful. If you've got a Pontiac and you're doing your painless rewiring, or even any other kit that you're using to rewire your car, Pontiac has two on the ignition switch, and you need to jump one from ignition 1 to ignition 2 so that you've got start power and coil power, or start power and run power. And I did not think that that was even something I needed to do. I was just jumping the orange accessory wire back and forth. Anyway, so we got that. I got that figured out. I'm really happy. Sorry, thanks for being patient, but I kind of wanted to show everything that I went through to figure this out and not just cut to it and say, here's what you needed to do. So thankfully that worked out well and we are good to go. So that is another one done. Took me a week to do it, but I got the electrical gremlins figured out. Also, got the oil in. So here's the company, Auxito. And yeah, and they were kind enough to send me another set of 2 bulbs. So now I've actually got all 4 in for the taillight brake lights. So let's take a look at it with all the LED lights in there. So that's the LED over here and over here. So now we've got all nice and new red shiny lights. And so with the brake lights, it's going to be just as bright, and hopefully they'll be able to see me while I'm on the power tour. And that's with the LEDs in there as a flasher. So again, nice and bright. So yeah, that's going to take care of it then. Got the Auxito, all my taillights are in. Like I said, if you want to check them out, get yourself a discount, use Rust Revival Garage. The details will be here and down in the description. I do get a percentage of it. That's kind of cool. But it's a great way to support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. If you need LEDs for your classics, they can hook you up. You just go to their site, enter your car information, year, make, and model, and all of that, and hopefully they can help you out as well. So yeah, on to the next thing. A set of 4 shocks just came in. The tires and wheels should be on the way. They should be here this coming week. So, and then I need to check on those brakes, like I said. So I think that's going to be the next part. But yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. Subscribe if you can. Leave me a comment down below if you have any questions or if I got anything wrong. And like the video. It's just little things like that can help really grow the channel. So yeah, thanks very much. We'll catch you next time.